You aren't gonna believe this. America is a racist country. Yeah, I know, you probably heard Kamala Harris and Joe Biden say it wasn't.
Well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country.
Then like a couple months later, they both said white supremacy is the biggest threat to our security. Really confusing, right? No longer be confused, folks. A new study conducted by the University of California at Berkeley answered these questions for us. Berkeley has an organization called the Othering and Belonging Organization. And every year they take a look at certain key points. It's called racial inclusion. And it's not just America. They look at America state by state, and they look at America comparing it to other countries. Racial inclusivity refers to the practice of creating an environment or society where people of all racial backgrounds are treated with equal respect, dignity, and opportunities. It's about ensuring that individuals from different racial or ethnic groups are not excluded or discriminated against based on their race, skin color, or ethnic origin. So that's what it is. So how do they measure this exactly? And they measure this all by looking at income equality, political power, anti-discrimination laws, rates of incarceration, violence against minorities, and immigration and asylum policies. So on this test, America ranked 118th. There's only 129 countries counted in the test. So like we're in the bottom 10th percent of the test. That's how great we did. Black people are at the bottom of this test. As if the findings aren't bad enough, it's racist that we even have to have a test for this. We can't get America to agree that America's racist. Remember Ralph, y'all? He's a 16-year-old black Missouri kid who went to pick up his brother and went to the wrong house. He rang the doorbell, and this old bastard comes out and shoots him twice for ringing the wrong doorbell. Yeah, to me, that was sort of like a tip. Yeah, America's pretty racist. I mean, other people get shot, but Ralph got shot because Ralph was black. I don't think that old bastard would have shot a white kid who knocked on his door. And that would be enough, right? But America's so racist that every time there's a test like this that shows us how racist America is, there'll be white guys like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, who come out and say those tests are no good. Screw those tests. Those tests are bogus. So what about the countries that rank well in them? Blacks and hippies probably did those tests. Can't trust them. That's how bad America is on race. And there's always a racist willing to put their hand out and collect a check or make money for their whatever organization or company by lying about America, by telling us what we see and what we experience ain't so. America's not short on tests. America does a lot of tests. 2021, Pew Research conducted the 2021 Best Countries Report. The U.S. finished amongst the bottom 10 of the countries in the list, based on the criteria of racial equality. Of the 78 countries assessed in the study, U.S. ranked 69th, or the 10th worst, for racial equality. They finished lower than China, a country that the international community has condemned and imposed sanctions on for its treatment of Muslims. So after George Floyd, they wanted to take a look at our race relations, and they conducted some interviews and did some polling to find out how much did it help that we had like so much focus on race. And there were two graphs in particular that I want to share with you. Here goes the first one. About 2/3 of black adults say they've supported minority-owned businesses in recent months. The percentage saying in the past 3 months, they made efforts to support a business because it was owned by someone from a racial or ethnic minority group. So black people have been going out their way to try to spend money with minority groups or minority-owned businesses. Look at the group of people who do it the least. White folks. And remember, this is them saying it. This is just like people asking. This is an online poll. why would white people lie on themselves and make themselves seem more racist than they are? If anything, this is going to skew higher with them trying to cover up their racism. Even when white folks could say whatever they wanted to say and pad the numbers, they didn't pad them enough. Yeah, so what I'm trying to tell you is I think the numbers are lower than this. Even less white folks spend money or do business with black or minority-owned businesses when given the opportunity. It's right here. And that's not what I say. That's not what the report says. That's what the respondents say. The other graph was this one. Majorities of Americans say being black or Hispanic puts people at a disadvantage in our society. So if this is the percentage that say being black or brown or Hispanic or black, how much it hurts you getting ahead in this country these days. What I like about this poll is that people are admitting that it hurts more being black and that being white does help. And also, so does being Asian. You know, I'm not saying that the polls are etched in stone, like anybody can defy a poll. We can all do better than the polls, or we can all do worse than the polls. What I'm saying is, we don't have to waste time anymore doing any more polls or analysis to determine if America's racist. The answer is yes. And the people that don't want to admit that it is are basically people that are funded by people who don't want to admit the reality. Because if we admit the reality, then we might have to do something about it. And if we have to do something about it, some people might lose their control over the rest of us. I say ever since 2008, 2009, black folks have started to drift away from the Democratic Party. They're starting to look at things and make some different determinations about what's going to be necessary to move black people up. Not just survive, but thrive. And they're not seeing that happen with the Democratic Party. And they're looking at they're not looking at these numbers per se, but they are looking at what's happening in the country. And they're saying, okay, we got to do something about this. Inclusivity is about where we rank as far as who's being incarcerated, who's not. Who's dying, who's not. Who's getting treatment, who's not. Who's getting loans, who's not. Who's being hired, who's not. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the things I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on who's on beer cans, who got to play, the mermaid, like that. I don't care about that. Who was in the commercial? No. Money. Economics. That's what my people say they care about. Economics. Okay? All right.
Tim Black's Black Table streams Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel the power of the news with us.